And we're live. And wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. We're live. See? Once you hear the echo, man, I'm live and direct. I'll tell you that much. I'm never stopping this yet, 100%. People. Yes, sir. How's everyone doing? How are you doing today, man? Mm-hmm. Look, man, I did a bit of a live stream. In the morning, and you can say whatever you want, to be honest here, but we decided, 100%. What? It's me. We started off and we all agreed. I'm pretty sure some of the people are still here, but we all agreed, that you're gonna shave, you're gonna go bald here soon if some of these goals don't go to 100x, and we're gonna hold you accountable for it's gonna be on video. So yeah, I'm sorry, man. Kind of commitment here. You did. You're sticking to 100%. Perfect. Just wanted to clarify. Perfect. Thank you very much for clarifying, sir. Guys, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being a part of this. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin went above and peaked a couple times, to the 40K, all the way up to the 40,600 almost. So in this video we're going to talk about that. We're going to give you a quick update on VeChain, Ethereum, Cardano, Matic, and in the end we're gonna also show you a couple of things that we've been really interested in. There's a huge potential to buy the dip, quote unquote. I don't really say that much, huh? Let's see if you guys can hear him now. Let's see. I'm not sure why it's not working here. Let me just check something really quick. Properties. Talk now.
Hello.
I think now they can probably hear you now.
All right. Can you guys hear me now? If you guys want to let me know in the comments.
Yes, they can. I think they should be able to.
Yeah. If you guys want to let me know, if you guys can hear me. If not, I can just repeat myself a bunch of times. That's fine if you guys don't mind.
I think you're good now, man.
Okay. All right. Sure. Let's just proceed with the assumption that you guys can hear me. Now, guys, look. Yeah, like you said, man, there's a lot to talk about. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. You guys can hear me. Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah,
okay.
They can.
I think we need confirmation of this trend reversal.
There's a bunch of people saying
we need confirmation. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. No, guys. Look, there's a lot to talk about. All right. We're gonna do a Bitcoin, Ethereum update, market update, and also share with you guys again what we think are some of the most interesting potential buy the dips opportunities in the market right now. Some of which I think, if not all of which, we've bought ourselves on this dip. So yeah, looking forward to sharing that with you guys. Lots of interesting opportunities in the space still, if you guys are interested. Now, of course, there is a lot of risk still and some precarious. So why don't we delve into that, man? Let's kind of talk about the state of Bitcoin and the state of the market. Are we still in the bull run? What do you think, man? I'm gonna keep asking you this until you give me a solid answer.
I'm tired. Look, it's not either or. The space is the space. Crypto is crypto. Bull run, bear run, sure. You know me. We're probably gonna always go back and forth talking about these cycles. Don't make sense to me. I think at one point things are gonna blow up on their own. We have a bunch of news. People are getting into Matic. Mark Cuban is getting into Matic. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank also, started his own DeFi investing company. Does it matter for if Bitcoin is down sometimes when that's happening? Is DeFi is gonna start decoupling at one point? Maybe, maybe not. But bull run or bear run, man, there's a bunch of stuff specific outside of Bitcoin that are developing, especially with NFTs as well. I think those ones are gonna get us there. So bull run or bear, man, look, man, if Bitcoin falls still, I think it could be good for the altcoin market, man. I think a lot of that money is gonna go there with all this, all this good news out there for DeFi in general. Matic, Ethereum developing, all of that. I don't know, man. I don't know. Bitcoin doesn't make sense to me. Why it's bringing the whole market down? I think it's very fundamentally. It's been progressing. It's been going up. So maybe, man. I don't know.
Well, look, I understand why theoretically, why one would not like Bitcoin to affect the rest of the market. You know, they have different use cases, but again, like for me, and we should do a live stream one day where we explore and debate all our disagreements. I think that would be really interesting for the people. But look, Bitcoin has historically always affected the market. The use case for Ethereum and DeFi and NFTs are the exact same as it was when Bitcoin was at 65,000. And the reason why they're all down is because Bitcoin's down. Bitcoin's always had a strong influence on the altcoin market. And until proven otherwise, until we see full decoupling of alts from Bitcoin, I will continue under the assumption that Bitcoin will heavily influence the altcoin market, because that's what we've always seen. So again, man, look, I agree with you. I'd love for alts to decouple from Bitcoin and have the use case and the catalyst just completely just move independently from Bitcoin. But we've never seen that. And what we've always seen is Bitcoin lead the market. So that's
100%.
my opinion.
100%. Yeah. To me, it's just more like at one point, if we try to forecast to see what might happen, you know, I think that's you know, if we have enough. It doesn't have to be hardcore evidence. I think even if sometimes at one point it's like us saying World War III is going to be the same as World War II because in World War II this happened and that happened. I think this time, you know, you can see the developments happening. You can see things progressing differently. So we got to give weight to that. But we're not going to get fully into that, I guess, in this live stream.
Sure.
But, you know, if it does, then I called it. And I hope we date today was May 26th.
So I think maybe this is more specifically where disagreement lies. Is I think it's going to take forever, a long time for altcoins to decouple. Like, because throughout Bitcoin's and crypto's entire existence over the last decade, Bitcoin has led the market. So I hope one day alts decouple. They have an independent use case from Bitcoin. I just don't see any signs, and I don't have an inkling that alts will decouple from Bitcoin anytime soon. I don't know. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think it's this year, the cycle. I don't think alts are likely to decouple anytime soon.
Yeah, no, look, my whole argument is off those cycles, off the halving of Bitcoin, off all of that. Mine is completely just treat this as a separate entity. NFTs right now are being adopted regardless of what Bitcoin is doing. I think that's one of the things we got to keep in mind. I think right now with these guys actually, you know, starting companies into DeFi, you know, might be a Bitcoin is not really the way to go, but DeFi is. So that's what I try to, what does that mean right now? And yeah, man, no, look, I don't care about a cycle still.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. And again, man, like we don't want to go too deep down this rabbit hole, because I know we can go on for a while, but yes. But do you think, okay, but like adoption doesn't necessarily mean that a protocol's price action will go up independently from a greater market that's dumping. Right. So that's where I'm coming from, which is, yes, there may be great projects with great fundamentals and great catalysts, but if the whole market is dumping and fearful, that bullishness of those catalysts are suppressed. And even though that project's a good project and doing well and having good catalysts, may even still do poorly simply because the market and Bitcoin's doing poorly. That's just my opinion.
Sure. I just think this time right now, we have a lot more developments that are happening and a lot more adoption that's happening. So that's why I factor that in. See, like, where does that go?
That's true. Yeah.
So you can say back in the day I'm like, okay, this time we have different factors. And where do you factor those? Until someone gives me something where it's like, oh, you can factor it into the equation with, you know, you can factor the fact that DeFi has been blowing up into this. Or if Apple right now, for example, adopts, I don't know, Ethereum for some, uses Ethereum's blockchain for something, or Apple Pay uses some random, project. To me, it doesn't matter what Bitcoin is doing. That's where I'm standing at. And if someone has to explain to me, or you'd have to explain to me why or how does adoption to those major institutions or as an actual use case factor in if it doesn't actually have some sort of effect on it. So if we're saying it's still going to go down if Bitcoin goes down, okay, but the fact that it got adopted, where does that put it? It doesn't have any value to it, for example, 0, or it does have some sort of value. And if it does, be like, okay, all right, so where does that value lie? Where's it going to be at? Evaluation of some of those projects. Where's it? But man, we can go off on this. I feel like people just want to see what the chart is. Yeah.
So well, I do think we agree on most stuff, but I think it would be interesting to in another live stream explore some of the differences we do have. But yeah, in the meanwhile, man, here, look, yo, Bitcoin peaked above 40K. What's happening here? Is it time to FOMO buy, panic sell? What's going on?
I think right now, if we're looking maybe at the hourly chart, because you won't really see much on the 4 hour right now, but on the hourly chart, we are maintaining some sort of for the longest time here. Ever since May 12th, we've been going down. We have an actual trend line that we've been getting rejected off of. When Bitcoin reached here, we were supposed to actually come all the way back down again and get rejected, but Bitcoin peaked above. We didn't even touch the 100 EMA except for a couple of times here, but overall the 55 EMA on the 1 hour has been really driving us down. But right now, we didn't even touch the 200 EMA ever since. Right now, we peaked a bit above it. We peaked above the 40. I think we are showing some signs of strength. Is that gonna keep us up there? Not really sure. We want to see if that holds or not. I want to see if those buyers will actually come in. But most importantly, I think that we just went all the way up, retested it, came back again, peaked above at the 40. Went all the way to the 40, like 900 right now. And we're trying to find that support back at the 100 EMA. So let's just see if those EMAs, I think if Bitcoin right now goes below the 38,200, or if that does not hold, then I think we're meant to continue to come back down maybe to these slower levels. But if this one doesn't hold, then I think this was a typical, I guess, just a bull trap. Bear trap.
Yeah, could have been. So I think there's a few interesting things. So I think you're right with kind of like the 38,000 region. From what I'm seeing here, the VP viewer point of control seems to be right at $38,000. So that's going to be strong support. So as long as Bitcoin holds $38,000, that's a good sign. And what we're seeing in the short term with Bitcoin is actually promising. What are we seeing? We're seeing higher lows. We're also seeing higher highs. So we're seeing something very, very promising. Bitcoin is having a bit of strength, a bit of a relief rally here, which again does make sense. Even if we assume the worst case scenario that we're entering a bear market, we're not just going to go down in a straight line forever. We will have relief rallies, lower highs, and then legs down. So I do think Bitcoin has a good chance of experiencing more of a relief rally here. But right now, we really need to understand that Bitcoin is in a super, super critical place. 30,000 acting as support. And our this is the 382, this yellow dotted line, Fibonacci retracement acting as resistance, as well as this 200 daily exponential moving average, as well as these previous peaks. So we have all in the same region from about 42,000 about 41,000. Strong clusters of resistance. So we're between strong support and strong resistance in a very narrow region. Eventually, we're going to break out of this very narrow region, and whatever way we break out, we're looking to trend in that direction. So if we break out here, we're probably going for a further leg down. If we break out bullishly, very, very good sign. So if we want to be optimistic about Bitcoin in the market, this is what we need to see. A bullish breakout, fall back down or retest previous resistance, hold that as support. And if we can do that, then we can keep trending upwards. That's what I'm looking out for.
Yeah, no, 100%. Even if you're looking at the daily chart as well, you can see clear spots where we usually find the support as short term, 55 EMA. Every time we go further away from it, we come back heavily to retrace back down to it. We have almost what we had here, almost 29, 30% retracement just to meet it again. Then as we move upwards, it was the first stop we actually got to when we actually downtrended. We tried to hover above it, didn't work, came back down to the 100, tried to find that support at it. We pushed back up. Now we're sandwiched between the 55 EMA. Again, break above, battle our way through it. When those don't hold, then for the first 2 days here after on May 19th at the 42,000, 41,000, we really broke all the way down, and that just kind of kept us below the 200 EMA on the daily. So daily looks like, if you're looking at on the MACD in terms of momentum, we haven't really had anything like this before. It's extremely just the momentum law is too extended to the bottom, and it's been really ticking up. So we need to factor that into account. Looks like buyers' momentum is creeping in slowly.
Yep.
Once I don't know, looks like within the next day or 2 days here, we'll probably have a crossover. But obviously the main level we need to actually break above looks like so far is the 41,000, 42,000 specifically, and actually jab against this 200 EMA for sure.
No, I agree, man. So first off, that 12-hour MACD is super, super telling. Like just like you showed the people, when was the last time the MACD was that overextended to the oversold region. It's been forever. So very, very telling that we're having a bullish crossovers here. So let's see if we can maintain that on the 12-hour MACD. If we can, very good sign. But ultimately, man, like I really want to hover on this point because it's critical. It's not just our feeling that the 200 exponential moving average on the daily in this 42,000 region is very critical, but we have several reasons to think. We have a fib level here, we had historical peak here, and what perhaps is most importantly in the near term, this 200 exponential moving average on the daily, this thick blue line, because the market's telling us this region is very significant. Here, held as support, constantly here held as support. As soon as we broke back down, went back up to retest it 1, 2, 3 times and got rejected. The market has been fully reacting off this exponential moving average. The market's telling us is a very relevant level, and that's currently very close by 7 points. What? It's like 8% away at the time of recording. So if we can break above this level, super critical inflection point, and if we fall back down and we hold it, if we can hold this level as support, then that's when we can start to breathe our first sigh of relief. But, you know, we're not completely out of the woodworks yet. What we need to see to be confident in this bull run is further confirmation. We want more confirmation of either the bear trend or the bull trend to be more confident of the state of the market, bull run or bear run. It's up in the air. I don't feel comfortable calling it. What we need at this point is further confirmation. If we break above this line, fall back down, retest, hold it, that's bullish confirmation. So let's see if we get that in the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, no, 100%. So if you guys need to actually you want to keep an eye out on what's going on a bit of a lower time frame, make sure you have the 55, 100, and 200 EMAs. Those are going to give you a good idea of what's going on. For above them, we maintain above them. That's a pretty healthy sign because they've been the ones driving us down. And if not, and if we continue to just hover away especially from the 40K, then yeah, you'll see here, specifically on the 1 hour, man. It's 1 hour because at one point, those movements on the lower time frames here, 1, 2 hours, 3 hours, will start reflecting on higher time frames such as the 12 hours in the daily soon enough if we continue to remain positive on them. So right now you'll see how this 38,600 or 38,600 level is where we're trying to find that support. Ultimately, it's the 38,185, and if that drops, I do expect some sort of support to be here. But do we want to see that? Obviously, I want to see the bulls right now continue to push upwards. But again, on the MACD, it is going to the bottom. Sellers have been taking control ever since here the 2 a.m. They've been really driving the market down, and RSI is doing the same thing. So MACD, let's see if that holds. If we hover away here for a bit, once we start seeing something like this, it would be good, because you can see here as soon as that MACD started to actually uptick, we had a nice uptrend, and Bitcoin pushed from the 36,000 all the way to the top here. So the more and more we're gonna get squeezed up, the better it is. And yeah, Bitcoin wants to maintain a higher low right now. So let's see if that happens.
Yeah, and I also want to hover on our EMAs for a moment here, because it's critical for understanding and timing shifts and trends. So all throughout this entire downtrend, what do we see here? We saw that, all these EMAs, the 20 exponential on the 1 hour, this red line, the 50, this yellow line, the 100 exponential on the 1 hour, all these levels were acting as resistance. Price tried to pump, we got rejected off one of our EMAs. Now, what are we seeing here in the short term? We're flipping these EMAs from resistance into support. The 50 and the 100 exponential moving average on the hourly are currently holding as support. So the more levels that we continue to hold as support, flip from resistance to support, the more likely we are to see continuation of this bullish shift in the price action and the momentum. So if we can get above this 20 EMA, this 200 exponential moving average on the hourly, flip all these, which have been acting as a resistance all throughout our downtrend, from resistance into support, then we can test the 200 daily exponential. And if we can test the 200 daily and get above that, then we can test this red resistance line based off all-time highs to this wick at about, in kind of the low 50,000s. And if we can flip this red resistance level in the low 50,000s from resistance into support, then we can make new all-time highs. So again, folks, right now, we just need confirmation. Whether it's bull market or bear market, I think everyone in the space is very unsure. There's conflicting reasons in either way. So what we really need to look out for is confirmation of the trend, whether bullish or bearish. And again, anytime anything interesting happens, anytime that anything marks a shift in the trend, we're going to be talking about it on this channel. So folks, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Yeah.
man, even besides the chart, I know a lot of people are actually coming here to talk about VeChain, Ethereum, Cardano, Matic. So if you guys like the live stream so far, do us a favor and press the like button. It will definitely help out overall with the engagement. But look, man, there's a bunch of news as well out there for the market in general. We've been seeing a shift. That's what I've been noticing. There's been a shift recently ever since. For looking here, ever since we started dropping from May 10th, we had massive spikes to the bottom. We broke out of this, sorry, not May 10th, April 17th actually. We started really dropping heavy. Bitcoin had a really bearish day. And that came up because of news with miners in China having some sort of power outage, and that affected the hash rate, and things continued to drop, and a bunch of stuff, regulations, Elon talking about the environment, Dogecoin coming in and sucking most of the a lot of market cap and all these different meme coins, and there's just like everything just got derailed. And it's still the same thing recently with China banning miners in Mongolia. The power is based on coal mining, which is not really green. It's not energy efficient. It's not good for the environment. That's what Elon's been talking about as well. And we're seeing that's been really driving down a lot of these miners as well. In terms of it's just bearish news overall. Still continue sometimes to dump on the market, and this news in its own also makes the market as well, and other whales also continue to dump. Recently, we've been seeing some sort of recovery with the hash rate. We're seeing that a lot of these miners now, past week or so, we're having negative news. Now we have a bunch of partnerships coming up with those prominent mining pools migrating from China to Kazakhstan, going all the way to Texas in the US, having some sort of partnerships going on. We got a bunch of articles here. I'm not really going to go through everything. I feel like at this point you guys are probably sick of it, but overall this is what you need to know, that there's a huge shift in the news that's been coming out. Bitcoin a couple of days ago, officially new asset class, with Goldman Sachs talking about, look, it is volatile. It is, let's not compare it to gold. It's its own idiosyncratic risk that's associated with it, partially because it's still relatively new and going through an adoption phase. And that's by Matthew McDermott, Goldman Sachs global head of digital assets. That's the piece of research they put out yesterday. So join our Discord group. You'll see all these articles there. But man, there's a shift in the market. We're seeing even, we're going to talk about this as well later on, but Kevin O'Leary jumping into DeFi, and Mike Cuban getting into Matic. Man, like there's a shift happening. Yeah.
So isn't it funny how we're seeing a bunch of positive news stories now all of a sudden at the bottom after whales have been buying the dip? And again, folks, like we have a bunch of altcoins we want to talk about here, but there's so much important stuff to discuss with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, does currently lead the market. It is kind of a temperature check of kind of the health of the market. So we got to discuss a few important factors. And one of the key tangible things that we need to look out for to try to understand in time if Bitcoin's ready to cover, it's going to dump some more, is the hash rate, folks. Especially recently, hash rate correlated with price action. Power outages in China, mining operations shut down in China. Price started to drop. It was directly correlated with the beginning of the dump in price action here. Soon as hash rate recovered, price recovered. Hash rate drops, price drops. And what are we seeing now? A bit of recovery in hash rate. So if we see a continuation of that, that's a sign that we're starting to see a bit of a shift in Bitcoin. Also, what are we seeing? Bitcoin is leaving exchanges. This is a big deal because basically this entire bull cycle from August 2020, Bitcoin's been doing nothing but leave exchanges. Except recently when price was dumping, people were fearful, moving to Bitcoin exchanges, ready to sell. But as of recent, Bitcoin is actually leaving exchanges. Also, we're seeing that over-the-counter buys of whales and legacy people are increasing. Again, guys, this might not have been the bottom. It's totally possible that we can dump more, but we're seeing signs that the trend is reversing and that institutions are buying the dip. While weak hands are getting shaken out and people are selling at a loss, institutions and whales are buying the dip. We can see it over the counter. We can see it with Bitcoin held on exchanges. We can see the hash rate starting to pick up. We can see higher lows on Bitcoin, bullish divergence. We're seeing the signs that there's some hope. But again, nothing is still confirmed. At this point, we need further confirmation. So Again, guys, we're not totally out of the woodwork yet, but there's light at the end of this tunnel.
No, 100%, man. 100%. Look, man, we're talking about earlier about Apple, I guess. Apple actually jumping into the market. And literally, this news just came out. So maybe we'll also talk about that. This is
Did
literally
Apple jump in?
Yeah, Apple gently hinting at a move into alternative payment sector. This is something that just came out right now. They have a job description or job posting for 5+ years experience working in or with alternative payment providers such as digital wallets, BNPL, fast payments, cryptocurrency, and etc. So yeah, I guess something small, nothing crazy, but recently PayPal CEO, 10 years from now, you will see a tremendous decline in the use of cash. He predicts that even card use will fall out of favor and most payments will be done on phones. So yeah, that's, I guess, the job description here. They have a link about it, and you can actually see it. Key qualifications: 5+ years experience working alternative payment. Yeah, I guess so, man. Look, man, I don't know. It looks. There's something. There is a shift in the market, guys. There's a shift in the tone. Yeah. And that's what you need to pay attention to. All of this is related to literally what moves the price action is fear and greed, and that's what it is. And yeah, the more good news out that comes out, the more people are gonna get on the bandwagon. And I expect, look, man, a bit of a pump in the beginning. Everybody's still in belief. Second wave comes in. If we make some sort of a higher low, we actually continue to see that good news comes out. Even we have some more and more people migrating from China to the US. There's a couple articles that literally came out like a couple of minutes ago, which we'll also maybe share at one point. But look, I don't know. You gotta be careful. You gotta keep it in mind. That shift in tone in the market after Bitcoin dumped 50%, after Matic dumped heavily. These big guys are coming in because they do realize at one point it was overbought, it was overextended, but now it's all the way in the bottom. Another opportunity to come in, and I think, man, this time a rally back to the top will probably be. I don't want to say, this is just my own opinion, but it might catch us really off guard here.
Yeah, like kind of low 50s. Like at the very least, a relief rally, right? Like even if we assume the worst case scenario, all right, bull runs over, this is a bull trap, a fake out, any pump we see right now is short term. We're still probably going to see that pump. Like even if we look back at 2017, we'll do that in a second here. There wasn't a straight line down. Even in the beginning of the bear market, there were relief rallies all the time. So Bitcoin still has not had a substantial relief rally. So I do think something like that's overdue. Looking at the weekly here, we have 4 days left, or 4 days, 7 hours left for the weekly to close. Again, I think that that 42,000 is the key inflection point, specifically that 200 exponential moving average on the daily. And also, man, like not financial advice, but historically, the points in which the market was the most fearful were historically the absolute best times to be buying. And the market is just as fearful now as when the 2020 global pandemic first hit. So I definitely do not think that kind of fear is warranted. People may disagree with me, but look, again, not financial advice, but anytime the fear has been this low, it's historically correlated with local bottoms and has historically been the best time to buy. Not financial advice.
Not financial advice, folks. So if you like the live stream so far, again, make sure you hit that like button. Next, man, what do you have? Do you have any more news on Bitcoin? Should we move on to these other ones? What do you got?
Yeah. We can maybe mention some quick news stories. So, total stablecoin supply crosses $100 billion. Again, this is typically a bullish sign. The more stablecoins there are, the more potential buying power there is. So, it's just an interesting news story about the state of the market. I don't think we really need to delve into it too hard. It's just, again, it's very simple. The more stablecoins there are, the more potential buying pressure there is, and we've reached a peak in terms of stablecoins. And again, we're seeing it. We're seeing over-the-counter transactions spike up at the bottom, by the way. So these are whales. Regular people like you and me, retail does not trade over the counter. You know what trades over the counter? Banks, investment funds, billion-dollar corporations. That's who trades over the counter. And OTC is buying the dip, and we're seeing it. Bitcoin starting to leave exchanges. Hash rates starting to recover a bit here. Again, man, I think a relief rally is probably in the playbook.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it for me. Just one thing I'd want to mention real quick here too. It's just this is a news story that is very telling about the state of crypto. We have Indonesia has plans to come out with a CBDC, a central bank digital currency, and it's not just them. The Americans are planning to roll one out.
The Russians.
The British, the Russians, the Chinese, even Canada's working on one. So like again, we really need to understand how everyone in this live stream, you 122 people watching right now, 121, are all stupidly early when it comes to cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is just the next major asset class, just like the stock market, the options market, the forex market, the commodities market. They were all new things once. They were once created, and cryptocurrency is just the next asset class on that list. And we're in the early stages of adoption. Countries are coming out with their own government-sponsored digital currencies. The Americans haven't even defined what a security is when it comes to cryptocurrency. We need regulatory clarity for mainstream and mass adoption. So we still have not experienced these massive milestones and catalysts that will allow cryptocurrency to grow and mature. So we all need to keep in mind the macro picture, which is we're all still stupidly early in the space. There isn't even regulatory clarity on taxes and what is and isn't and how you can store and how you have to report things when it comes to cryptocurrency. It just tells us we're early, folks. We're early. And the people who are early to new asset classes and new shifts in global financial structure are the people who make the most money.
Agreed.
Or return on investment.
I agreed.
Yeah.
So there we go. There you guys have it. Brendan's rant on on the bears in the market. But look, man, there's a bunch of interesting stuff we need to talk about.
Watch the market crash.
Just as soon as we're done this.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, man. No, yeah. There's tons to talk about here. What do you want to talk about next?
I would say maybe let's start talking about Ethereum here. I have the chart open. Also, if you want to load it up on your end as well.
Yep.
And I know you had a couple news stories about Ethereum as well. So Ethereum, same thing. If you look at really high level here, today it's down, I think. Yes, down 1 point some percent during the day. It's you can see the indecisiveness play out. We're seeing very long wick to the top. Still there's 6 hours and 45 minutes left for the day. But the previous day as well, you'll see how they tried to push all the way back down here to the 100 EMA at 2,386. It didn't work. Buyers came in and pushed the price even further. So this is some sort of a hammer candle, which is typically a bullish candle, especially after a huge downtrend like this one. Ethereum dropped all the way down here and had a 60% decrease. So right now we're seeing that a very nice strong bullish candle a couple of days ago. We haven't really seen that ever since this big movement at the bottom. Open close at the 2,100, closing at the 2,600, and they, this is compared to previous nice. This is very, this is just showing you that buyers actually stepped in at that day specifically. So now, are they going to continue to step in? Are we going to have the follow through? You can see here on the daily that the 55 EMA is exactly where we got rejected. I'm going to zoom in a lot for you to see it. But this right here, 2,752, is exactly where that rejection happened. And right now we're trying to pierce through it, and looks like we're getting rejected. So let's just see how the end of the day actually gets us to. But then again, on the daily, you'll also see how we've been actually, selling power has really went down. And with the past 3 days, 2 days actually, excluding this one, we've been trying to push up, and selling pressure has been moving sideways a bit. So that's what it is. Usually when we get to the tops, closer to the tops there, you'll see volume starting to really go down. At the beginning of a breakout, you'll see volume go way above the average, which is good. That's what we need to see at a breakout at the 2,000. Pushed all the way up. As we pushed away from this breakout, volume really started to go below average. And as soon as we got to the top, this is telling me, specifically here, or specific at this area, that there's less and less interest in the current trend. And as we pushed to the 44,000, it was extended. We've been talking about it. It just broke out of this resistance, the support, and we start seeing that sell volume go up. So as soon as we start going down, we're seeing the volume right now is coming back to, below average, meaning that there's less interest in the current trend, which is a downtrend, which is usually a nice sign of reversal. Couple that with the fact that the MACD has been ticking up, couple that we've been oversold on the RSI. What does that mean, man?
When we're oversold in the RSI, panic sell. It means no, it typically means we either bottomed out or we may anticipate a shift in the trend.
There we go, man. So that's what it is. That's what I think it is. Now we're on your chart.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I want to share. I really feel like I need to get across the point with Ethereum, which is for me, like, look, I actually bought Ethereum right before this live stream, and it may very well go on to crash another 50%. I honestly don't care. The way I view Ethereum is like buying Ethereum now is like buying Apple or Google in the early 2000s. Sure, it may go on to crash 50% more over the next month, 6 months, but I honestly think Ethereum is the next thing that the next decentralized global financial system will be built on top of. So for me, selling Ethereum right now is like selling Google or Apple in the early 2000s. I'm honestly getting to the point where I might not ever sell my Ethereum because for me, I like honestly, man, like I'm actually being serious. Like for me, I think it's incredibly risky to not have Ethereum. I mean, I believe in the space. I believe in crypto long term. And again, everything moves in boom and bust cycles. Everything moves in a cycle. And this may very well go on a crash. If it does, great. I'll just buy more. But look, I really, really believe that over the next 5 to 10 years, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a long term investment. That over the long term, 5 to 10 years, Ethereum could be worth tens of thousands, high tens of thousands, maybe $100,000. Who knows? Maybe a decade from now. Who knows? Maybe even more. So like that's honestly my approach with Ethereum. It's my favorite long term hold. After EIP 1559 in July, Ethereum will become deflationary and harder money than Bitcoin. Ethereum 2.0 is being rolled out that aims to make Ethereum scalable, cheaper gas fees. This year is going to be one of the biggest years in Ethereum's history, because this year Ethereum will become deflationary and Ethereum will become a lot more scalable, which is one of the biggest developments in its history. So again, whether we pump now or crash another 30, 40, 50%, 60%, 80%, Ethereum's the next Google, Ethereum's the next Apple. So I might not ever sell my Ethereum. And anytime it has a substantial dip, I'll just buy more.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So yeah, man.
Do you disagree with anything? Because I know you're we sometimes differ on stuff.
I think you're right. I think right now we just need to see. They worked on the system. The Matic is definitely going to make it easier for a lot of those other protocols to jump in and take some of that steam off the Ethereum server, Ethereum virtual machine. And right now we need to see how that plays out. Who's going to come in and start using those systems? We're seeing a lot of those big billionaires starting to come in and start really thinking about DeFi and what it actually can bring to their investment, or to their companies. So yeah, man, I think it could be. We just need to see how where the adoption will take place, and
Right.
what kind of is it gonna really amount to that? Is it gonna actually be scalable? Are we gonna really gonna have those lower gas fees? And things do look promising. So let's see how it develops. But in terms of potential, definitely a lot of potential that Ethereum has right now, specifically right now so far. So, but then again, you got a lot of competition. You want to see how that plays out.
Yeah, a lot of competition too,
Yeah.
right? So, and look, maybe I'm bullish to a fault, but I do think Ethereum has one of the strongest chances to be something on the scale of the next Google or Ethereum, especially over the long term. Again, next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
So we'll see, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I could just mention something real quick about the price action, is look, man, we found our support on the 618 Fibonacci retracement. So from the bottom here, from back in February 19th to all-time highs, we fully found support on the 618, like literally exactly on the 618. So that's a good sign. We're above the 100 exponential moving average on the daily. That's a good sign. We see how this wick the previous day found our support there, so that's good. So what are we seeing right now? We're flipping EMAs from resistance into support, which is the beginning stages of a trend reversal. So we've been trending bearishly, and now we're reversing that trend into a bullish trend. So we need to wait and see if we see further confirmation. We have a bit of volume above us acting as resistance. So I think if Ethereum can flip 2800 from resistance into support, it would have flipped a few more resistance levels, fib levels, volume, exponential moving averages, sideways price action. So if ETH can flip 2800 to support, ETH can see more bullish continuation.
Yeah, I agree, man. And that's what the thing is right now, especially when we're trying to time some sort of a reversal in the current trend. We definitely need to take a look at the EMAs and see if those EMAs, we're jumping above it, that means there's a bit more buy pressure. And as soon as we start breaking above them, you'll see how the price actually moves. And look, pretty good example. Even over here, overall, whenever we're as soon as we break above these guys and actually, retest them for support, it continues to move that price action upwards. And right now, I'm just looking at the 1 hour just because things are moving pretty quick in the space. You'll see how sometimes, you won't really catch it on the daily, man. You won't catch this on the daily sometimes. You won't really see this on the daily and actually anticipate it when you're looking at it here. So you need to always look at some sort of smaller time frames and just understand what's going on there. But you'll see here, ever since Ethereum broke below the 200 EMA, specifically the 200 EMA, we came back up to retest those levels, and we've been really downtrending. So now looks like the 55 EMA as well has been the area we've been falling heavily. You'll see here one. Wow, I hate when these show up out of nowhere. First time over here, and again I'll just take these off real quick. Hide drawings, and you'll see so first time over here, second time. Right now we actually touched it, came back to retest at the 55 EMA. People are like, okay, so let's see if the 100 EMA is going to be the same thing. We broke above it, came back down. Now we're retesting both of them, the 55 and the 200 and the 100, and now we're trying to really find a support at the 200. So I really want, it's okay for Ethereum still to hover below this, it's fine for me, but I want Ethereum to 100% come back down and have that support and not continue to break below to 2,580. If that's something that Ethereum can do, and if bulls actually enter the market and really push it back upwards and find that support here, I think it's definitely going to be something where Ethereum is going to continue to push above and go to these upper levels, at least the 3,300 or 3,400.
Yeah, and look, I would just want to add, although I am very long-term bullish on Ethereum, the short term is very precarious and is very up in the air. If we continue to find rejection, basically where we're at here, kind of 2,750, we could very well fall that back down to kind of the low 2,400s. That's where our 100 daily exponential moving averages. That's where volume starts to pick up. So rejection here means we could probably drop another, 10 to 12%. So and again, that might even fall further if we don't hold that EMA right there. So just understand, short term very precarious, long term. I'm again, long term, I think ETH is the next Google. It's the next global computer that the next global financial system is built on top of, and I may end up being wrong, but I think Ethereum has the best fighting chance of being that next global financial network.
There we go. Perfect. So anything else on Ethereum you got there before we move to something else here?
I think that's pretty much it, man.
Perfect. So
I think we covered it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So VeChain next. We'll talk about VeChain if you're good.
Yeah.
I got the chart pulled up here as well. You'll see you switch between Ethereum and VeChain. It's actually the exact same chart right now.
Very
so
cool.
Yeah, on the shorter time frame, looks like that's what the market is doing so far. Same thing, guys. Look, at one point, you won't really have that much happening between the day or two. Right now, we're at a very critical spot. Looks like we could be attempting some sort of a reversal, and you're gonna see the same charts all across. This, for example, I bet you that VeChain doesn't look like Matic. For example, VeChain won't look like Matic, and we see if you compare it. We have some of those altcoins that the market likes to swap Bitcoin with. VeChain is definitely not one of them. And unfortunately, obviously, but right now it looks like, again, I'm looking at the 1 hour so far. If we're looking at the daily, you'll see how here we found that support at the 200 EMA. Again, first time, if you look from before, you'll see how every time we have a huge uptrend with VeChain, even from those lower times here in the bottom, every time we move really upwards, you'll see here if we actually get this to the top 151%, create a distance between the 55 EMA, we come back down to it to test it again, we move again, 55 EMA, one more time, try to find the support, and again here. So EMAs do work, guys. They give you a gauge of where we're gonna find that first stop first. Once we really moved upwards 1,600% from all the way back, this guy was the first stop, the 55 EMA. That didn't hold. We came back down to retest it. Didn't hold again. Jumped all the way down. And we've been really hovering in these two candles over here. Obviously, this is a lot of panic selling. The market was panicking. So I won't really take this long wick into account. Next time here, 100% support at the 100 EMA, and we're trying to push above. Right now we're sandwiched again. This is the 200 side. This is the 100 EMA right now. I really want VeChain to continue to be above the 12.8 cent, at least push up above the 13 cent. Looks like we did wick into it today, but we're seeing some sort of rejection, and obviously eventually the 15.1 cent would be the area where that 55 EMA is at. But then if you look at it from a really far away, are we having a bigger dip than this one? Is VeChain repeating this previous lows that we had? It definitely did drop heavily from these previous peaks we had, all the way back down 43%. If we look at VeChain, how much it dropped since all-time highs right now, all the way back down to that's 80%. Right now we're sitting all the way down towards the so 53% down. So
Bro,
let's see if that actually
I don't think you're sharing your screen.
I'm not at all.
Sorry. Yeah,
I'm not at all. So go ahead. No, this is it, guys. Back to Brendan.
All right. Well, shit. Yeah, man. So sorry about that. I don't think you were sharing your screen. If you want to maybe go back to my screen.
Yeah, it's on your screen already.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So look, guys. No, all good. I mean, you got the main takeaways across. You mentioned the important levels. So here's the thing, guys. There's plenty of altcoins to talk about. We're going to delve into a lot of altcoins, a lot of interesting stuff we're buying the dip on. But VeChain, I want to piggyback on a lot of the important relevant levels you mentioned, because VeChain is actually looking extremely interesting on a few fronts right now. We're seeing bullish divergence. We're seeing confirmation of bullish divergence. And we're seeing a bullish breakout. So while the market is dependent on Bitcoin, these coins do vary in how they act independently, and it's looking very interesting in the ways I will not begin to describe. So a few things here. We found support on the 786 Fibonacci retracement. That's where we stopped dumping. We held support. We held the line. Hold the line on the 200 exponential moving average on the daily, which is this dark blue line. We're above the 618. We're above this volume. So VeChain is just making higher lows. We're breaking past resistance. But right now, we're right up against the 100 daily exponential moving average, this light blue line acting as resistance. If VeChain can flip that level, flip 14 cents from resistance into support, VeChain could really start to blow up here, because if we draw a resistance trend line based off this wick and just extend it, we're actually seeing bullish divergence from our entire downtrend. So all through the majority of our downtrend, we are respecting this trend line as a resistance. And we're now breaking out. So we're breaking out bullishly, making higher lows, breaking past resistance. So we're seeing some signs of strength. But again, what do we need? Confirmation. If we get above that 100 daily exponential moving average, get above this cluster of volume, then in that case, we can test this red trend line here based off this wick, and we just extend that. In fact, actually, if we draw a new trend line from all-time high, something like this, then we can even draw another layer of resistance. So what I'm trying to say here is we're breaking past layers of resistance. And each layer we break past makes it more likely that the bullish trend will continue. So I'm just identifying for you guys what are the key levels to look out for, and each key level we break above makes it more likely that we continue to trend in that direction. So if we break above this red trend line, get above 14 cents, then we can test 17.5 cents. If we can test 17.5 cents, hold that as support, then we can break above 19 cents. If we can break above and hold 19 cents of support, then we can make new
$500. Oh, okay. There we go. No,
$500
I agree, man.
Guaranteed $100.
I agree. And look, man, even something like this back from from 2020, July 2020, we did peak below these levels. We did. VeChain actually had a massive drop from all the way down to here. So it's almost like 61%, and you'll see all across this time here, those EMAs definitely do hold as support for VeChain's price action, and we're seeing that happen. It's always the first stop that VeChain comes back down to, that 55 EMA. We hover for a bit. It's not gonna go down straight to zero. There is some sort of buy walls that we're gonna have here where people actually will buy it, and what might think, a lot of people might think like, oh, we're actually at this stage right now here, so let me just buy in a bit. We will find that support. We dropped all the way to this low, back the same thing we just saw over here, and it could be just a bigger drop that we had before, and we're actually continuing to move above. So that's what I'm saying, man. I do agree. Right now, this is the level we're looking at, the 100 EMA, that first stop. We need to break above. Looks like we peaked through it today. The next one would definitely be that 15 cent. And as soon as we're back up here, we're back above those EMAs. But we don't want to be too hopeful. We're still looking at the lower time frames here. We're looking at that 1 hour. We want to hold this support for the 1 hour closer to 12.2 cents. And guys, you can do this on your own. Just add those to your trust and actually watch and monitor how the price action actually develops and see what happens. You know, right now it looks like we broke above nicely. Trying to come back to retest it. Let's see if these EMAs do hold or no. And I think it could be a nice reversal point for VeChain, since we've been getting rejected from these guys all the time. So at one point, the downtrend won't be all the way down to zero. You will always have some sort of reversal. The market does fluctuate, and it's not the craziest thing to assume that Bitcoin is going to continue to go up or that VeChain is going to continue right now to go up. It's not really out of the ordinary. Yeah, so we need to kind of stop thinking about it that way. I guess everybody thinks like, you know, of Bitcoin it's just a bear market right now, so we're going straight to zero. No, we'll probably most likely have a relief rally, and something more significant than a relief rally. So let's keep that in mind. As much as we're bearish right now, let's also keep the possibility that something might be going on at the moment. So flirt with the idea for a bit.
Right. Yeah, man. And so look, man. So are you saying that last time VeChain had a substantial correction, 61% correction, that could have been a good time to buy?
Could be, man. It could be.
Whoa. So wait, hold on here. I need to understand this. So what you're trying to say here is that you're supposed to maybe buy low and then sell high? Is that what you're trying to say?
Sounds like it could be a good plan.
This doesn't make any sense. I thought you were supposed to FOMO into pumps and then panic sell dumps. Is that not what you're supposed to do?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I've been doing this all wrong. I've been doing this all wrong. So what you were saying here is that every time VeChain has had a substantial, massive dump, 81%, 61%, it's actually historically been the best time to buy? Mm-hmm. What? No way. Wow, that's crazy.
Yes,
we got to share this news. Apparently, buying low and then selling high is maybe a good investment strategy. We should write a book about this, man.
It could be, man. It could be. I think we're onto something right now. But
I think we're onto something.
That's the thing. Specifically on those daily, man. Specifically on the daily. The daily really gives you a good idea, guys. And yeah, last time we really dropped heavily here. Look what happened, right? We peaked below that 200 EMA. We did hover for a bit, right? Doesn't mean like we're gonna go to zero, but we could be finding the support at it. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, and look, also I like to joke around, but there is risk in this market, right? Like nothing's guaranteed. Like, yeah, the previous times we had massive corrections. Yes, historically, it was literally the best time to buy. The worse the correction, the better it is the time to buy. Historically, that doesn't mean it'll continue. It's totally possible that we can correct further. Risk is a real thing in this market. Nothing's guaranteed. So just because historically the worse the correction, the better it was a time to buy. Just because that happened historically doesn't mean that will continue to happen forever. So just understand that even if you buy right now, it's 100% possible that we could crash tomorrow, make new lower lows, and you could lose a lot of unrealized gains. That's totally possible as well.
It does make sense. It definitely does make sense, man. So what do you are we good with VeChain here? Do you have anything else to add, or should we move on to something, probably a bit more interesting right now?
That's probably
a lot of shine right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions here. There's a lot we want to get to. We have a lot of altcoins. So why don't we just start hammering through these, man? Like we have Cardano, Matic, other stuff we want to bring up. So what do you want to take a look at?
So next thing we have here on the list is definitely Matic. If you want to switch on your end, or I have it already pulled up, but if you have it, there you go. Let's just start with your end.
Okay, perfect. Well, really, guys, what we're seeing here is we're forming this descending triangle / channel. We broke out bullishly. We were above resistance, so we're just seeing confirmation of bullish trend reversal, just constant further confirmation of the bullish trend reversal. Now let's see if we can get our volume back. So here, even in the short term, Matic's looking good. We're above $2.25. That's where the volume is. So as long as we hold $2.25, we could go to $2.45. If we can go to $2.45, we can retest all-time highs. If we can retest all-time highs, we can enter price discovery. So again, this is how we do it, man. Like, it's like pretty simple here. Like we broke out bullishly, tested resistance, broke out. See, we broke out bullishly, testing resistance, we're breaking out. And so we can, as long as that pattern continues, we'll continue to make new higher highs.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
And
very simple.
overall, something to keep in mind, man, because like Matic is one of those projects that has a lot of fundamentals to fall onto, right? And we always say
Right.
the same thing. Whenever there's the whole market has a bit of just a bit of a bullish sentiment to it, if Bitcoin's just moving up just a bit, Matic, you'll see the appetite increase for Matic more and more. And overall, we've been looking at Matic since a very long time here. And yeah, man, the past what here? Today it's up 17%. We're seeing some of that retracement. But if I maybe show what we got here, yeah, it's been really moving very good for the longest time here. Bitcoin's been driving the price action down. As soon as Bitcoin started to kind of rally up, Matic flew from literally 3 days ago a good 128%, and right now it's sitting at the 109%. So pretty good the way this literally the price action is outstanding. There's a lot going on even in terms of the news. Matic surging 40% as Mark Cuban invests in Polygon. Polygon's Twitter, they put that on there. Polygon scaling solutions have seen widespread adoption with 250 plus dApps, 76 million transactions, 790k unique users. And yeah, man, the things have been blowing up. The Ethereum scaling aggregator has attracted a growing number of decentralized finance DeFi protocols in recent months as the network fees on Ethereum have surged to unsustainable levels. So it is providing a solution. It is pushing the Ethereum ecosystem to, it's making it easier for other protocols to integrate, for all these other dApps to integrate. And yeah, man, that's why you're seeing blow up, because guess what? That's some
What?
good fundamentals.
It does. And look, man, I think Matic's now like a blue chip. Like it's a solid project. It's probably going to be here 5 years from now. Even Vitalik himself has said, even after Ethereum 2.0 is introduced, second layer scaling solutions will be needed. So Vitalik himself has admitted that things like Polygon will continue to be needed. And so, yeah, man, I think Matic's like a super solid pick, probably going to be here over the long term. Now, while I do think Matic is very bullish long term, Polygon very bullish long term, I do want to express the possibility that making a lower high right now could actually be extremely bearish, because if we were to make a lower high here after the kind of parabolic price structure that Matic Polygon has experienced, I mean, those are the first signs of cycle tops. Having this blow off top, steep run up followed by steep sell off, and then a lower high at the top. Oof. So I'm very long term bullish in the space. We may very well still be in a bull market, but I do want to express the possibility that making a lower high right here could potentially be very, very, very short term bearish for Matic Polygon. Now, another thing also, just to finish off on that point, Matic has done this a lot where we impulse up, make a lower high, and then consolidate for a while, and then later on break up. So we've done this before. We do this all the time. Again, literally right here's the best example, right? Like impulse up, have this like blow off top. It looks very toppy. And then eventually we just go on to consolidate and then break out bullishly. So again, Matic could go on to do something like that. Again, massive impulse, consolidation, and then we finally break out and then impulse up back up. So something like that is definitely possible here in the short term, where if we can't immediately make a new high here, maybe we just fall back down, make a higher low, and then consolidate and eventually break up bullishly. But again, just one of the signs we look out for identifying local tops, especially after we've had a parabolic run up, is a macro lower high.
Yeah.
So that's just something to consider.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's obviously some sort of risk to it right now, and
Yeah.
this could be extremely, bearish. But overall, I think from Matic does just the fact that right away there was no time before the reversal. It's kind of still telling you what's happening in terms of buy pressure, in terms of how much excitement there is for Matic. So obviously we're closer to the tops here. If we do form that lower low, it's 100% something that we need to be careful of. So you guys need to 100% keep that in mind. And then again, we need to also be careful that as we move upwards here again, we switch to these between those EMAs, and now we're finding the support back again on this. So if we're looking at the daily here, man, just kind of get an idea of how things usually move with it. It does blow crazy. It does go up right away. We had it jump from the 77 at one point, from here right away to the top like it's nothing. So there is overbuying that's happening. There's a lot of buy pressure now. Do we attribute that to the price action? Or do we attribute that to what Matic is doing? 100% the top. Just like how the fundamentals with Matic made us actually be a top pick when we have a bit of a bullish sentiment in the market. It could also be that the fundamentals will also allow us to maintain this level at one point. But then again, just like you're saying, I agree. Somewhere close to here, and that's what we got rejected off primarily. This $2.44 is where we had the close of this candle before. So we do anticipate a lot of resistance to come up at the $2.44, and this is what we're seeing right now. So the daily candle will 100%, what is it, we have 6 hours and 20 minutes left to go, but you're seeing right away how the closing of these two big candles, this one big candle then followed by a crazy drop to the bottom, is telling you a lot about how quickly this price action can move. But overall, very important levels to do the $2.44 region. You see how today we exactly retrace it from that. So you'll know for a fact, you're right, man. A lot of those sellers were 100% be waiting. So as much as we're excited about Matic, something as this is still gonna be hard for us to break above this. So we need to see how that develops.
Yeah, 100%. And look, with Matic being a bit overextended here in the short term and Bitcoin being super precarious, if Bitcoin finds rejection, Ethereum finds rejection, Matic's been impulsing a lot and is up against resistance. It could very easily pull back, in my opinion. Another thing too, we may have Matic loves to move in these bull flags where we have an impulse, sideways consolidation, bullish breakout. Like we do this all the time. Like see over here too, impulse, sideways, consolidation and downward moving channel, and then bullish breakout. It does this often. And so we may have completed our uptrend. So given that we're up against resistance, market super precarious, any kind of downtrend with Bitcoin and Ethereum could probably
100%, I agree,
cause the downtrend with Matic Polygon in the short term. So again, guys, short term, somewhat precarious. It could 100%, it's possible it can continue to go up, but short term, it's looking a bit overextended, and with the market very precarious, this could easily fall back down at $1, and I'd say 80 cents, $1.75 easily, in my opinion. But look, again, Matic Polygon, super solid long-term pick. So if you're willing to hold for the next 5 years, who cares what happens this month, this quarter?
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
Agreed. So yeah, I guess that's it with Matic. If you have anything else to add, I'm good. Maybe we can move on to something else.
Yeah, let's talk about Cardano.
Let's talk about Cardano, man.
Yo, Cardano is holding up so well in comparison to a lot of other coins. I'm proud of the Cardano people, Cardano hodlers, because the Cardano hodlers are holding the line, dude.
Oh yeah.
I love this consolidation pattern. We had a daily candle, 2 daily candle bodies close above these 3 previous clusters of peaks, which is very, very good to see. Look, there's a lot of resistance above us, and we may get rejected at any point here. But in my opinion, what's happening with Cardano is very simple. As long as we remain above these three previous peaks, Cardano is bullish. If we start to peak below these 3 previous peaks, Cardano is bearish. That's my view on Cardano right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. The price action has been, that's what would happen. I mean, as soon as Bitcoin started to drop, Cardano's, I guess, community held the line heavily, and that's obviously because there's a bunch going on soon here with the Goguen upgrade coming up, and a lot of smart contracts capabilities will be released, and a bunch of developers, even in the past couple of weeks here, they've been having thousands of developers actually being trained on how to start working on this. So there's a lot of optimism in the market, and everybody has been. Cardano is one of those that's also been moving very slowly for the longest time. No one ever thought we're gonna go above the $1.50. We actually peaked all the way to the top, to the $2.42. So right now we need to see how that plays out. Just leading up to the release, leading up to those decentralized applications and smart contracts being developed, we're gonna see a bunch happening for Cardano. And I think it's still the beginning. So as the fact with whatever's happening with Bitcoin right now is gonna affect it 100%. But it's interesting to see what's how that's going to play out now. And with the market, the niche that they've been targeting, how is it going to affect the market, and what their holders are going to have in that sense. Because as soon as Bitcoin started to drop, man, the $1.50 levels has been holding strong. Like if you're looking at VeChain, for example, VeChain went all the way down to levels they had back in January.
Yeah.
These other smaller coins have been really dropping back to what we had back in January. Not Matic. Sorry, not Cardano. You know, Cardano really is holding the lines. Cardano
Yeah.
and Matic, I guess. But yeah, man, it's definitely one of those that there's a lot of excitement around it. And yeah, even on a shorter, time frame, maybe if you look at the 4 hours, same thing. 4 hours been playing for a while here. Every time those EMAs condense, they act as a strong resistance or support, depending if we're above or below them. And overall, right now, they were far away. We just came back to it. It's just like acting like a magnet. Right now, we're actually above all the EMAs on the 4 hour chart. So I want to see Cardano continue to hold the $1.65 to assume anything's gonna continue to move upwards. Just like you're saying, everything is in it's in a limbo. Everybody is scared. Even a movement to the upside with Bitcoin is met with a lot of speculation. Still, the market is not convinced of it. So usually it pumps for a bit, comes back down, and that's when people start to believe. So let's see if that's the scenario. Let's see if that plays out. But for Cardano specifically, man, the 4 hour chart here, I'm looking. I don't want Cardano. I'll give it a bit of leeway, but the dollar and 60 cents is where I want Cardano to 100% hold the line for.
Yeah, look, and there are a few key support levels, and we could delve into that specifically. But for me, man, I feel like the main takeaway, if you're trying to understand if Cardano is bullish or bearish, the inflection point is very, very clear. And so I don't think there's a need to really overcomplicate things, because the inflection point, the point at which something fundamentally shifts with the price structure in the short term, is super, super clear. And that's these previous three peaks. So I saw someone say, thanks for the in-depth technical analysis. I know you're being sarcastic, but in this case, it's just super obvious and super clear what the inflection point is that will change the state of the price structure. And that's these three previous peaks. So as long as we continue to hold above this, Cardano will continue to be strong and could continue to trend upwards. Now, something to understand in the short term, again, just to piggyback based off what you're saying, it's really important when trying to identify shifts and trends to be able to identify bullish divergence signals. What have we been seeing here in kind of the shorter time frames is, you can go through different time frames and you can see how these different exponential moving averages have been acting as resistance. Every time Cardano tried to pump, we kept getting rejected off these levels. But what are we seeing in the short term? We flipped all these exponential moving averages, which we've held as resistance throughout this entire downtrend, from resistance into support. And we're currently trying to test this volume. So we're really seeing that strength build up with Cardano. So if we can continue to hold those EMAs as support, continue to hold these three price structure clusters of peaks as support, then Cardano's price action is bullish and could probably see a bullish continuation.
Yeah, I agree. There's a bunch of news out there, guys. We went through these articles a couple times before. For Cardano, we'll also post this, but a bunch of milestones that's happening there. Cardano approaching Alonzo hard fork. It's gonna allow what else they got here soon. We're going to launch the Pioneer testnet and run that for 2 months and feature freeze at the end of June. Also, the blockchain hit 1 million Cardano wallets recently, and over 70% of ADA worth of 33.5 billion has now been staked in 2,500 active pools, with the figure for the same expected to hike even more as demand for the altcoin continues to climb. So they got a bunch of stuff. Their roadmap, again, bringing new functionalities to the blockchain. This will be carried out through a series of hard forks. Recently, in March 2021, the team added support for native assets with the Mary hard fork. So a lot of things going on, man. A bunch of stuff coming up. Everybody is excited. So the price action has been holding properly. It's a nice recipe for success. So let's see how that plays out. I know, our audience is divided between Cardano and Ethereum, but there's definitely the talks of, not the talks, but I can see them both existing in the same ecosystem. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Both is an option as well, right? Like a lot of people find themselves either being either Ethereum or either Cardano or either Polkadot or either Algorand or either someone else. Or either BNB or either Solana. It doesn't have to be either or. You can choose to hold all of them if you want. So again, yeah, there's no need for that, tribalism. And yeah, man, those are most of my thoughts with Cardano here.
Perfect.
So if you're good, maybe we can start moving into some of these altcoins, because guys, we had some altcoins that look stupidly interesting, very, very appealing by the dip opportunities that we want to share with you guys. But here's the thing: there's 223 people watching, only 58 likes, folks, smash that like button. This is what we'll do. Once we get to 100 likes, we'll share with you guys some of the, not low cap gems, because not all of them are low cap. So I'll share with you guys one of the things that I'm buying the dip on. In fact, I think I bought the dip on this thing right before the live stream. So folks, smash that like button. 238 people watching, only 68 likes. We can very easily get to over 100 likes. So once we get to 100 likes, we'll show you guys a very, very interesting opportunity, something that we're buying the dip on. So let's take a look at that. In the meanwhile, man, maybe you want to take a look at Chainlink. Meanwhile, we're waiting to see if we can get to 100 likes. I saw some Chainlink comments.
Let's talk about Chainlink. Chainlink it is.
Yeah.
Because the guy who says he's going to knock himself out if we don't talk about
I saw
Chainlink.
that. I saw that. So,
yeah.
You
need to relax, Techno. You need to relax.
No, look, we like you guys, so we'll talk about Chainlink. Yeah, no, honestly, I think we can be pretty brief with Chainlink, because I think what's happening is pretty easy to understand, which is, again, we were forming this very macro descending triangle. We had a bullish breakout. We fell back down to retest all-time highs and retest what was previous resistance. This happens all the time on micro scales and in macro scales, which is we'll have an impulse, consolidation pattern, we break out bullishly, then we fall back down and retest the breakout point. And this was a very, or retest previous resistance. And this was a super macro trend. But what did we do? We had an impulse up, we fell back down and retest previous resistance, held it as support, and now we're recovering. So as long as we hold the 618, as long as we hold that 200 daily exponential moving average, then Chainlink could recover.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. It's definitely exactly what's happening. Even that's what we're seeing mainly, where we majority of those coins actually went back to retest levels back in, back from way back. And this one is looking here, the same level at the breakout we had the January. A lot of those coins were looking at the same levels we had in January. And look, man, whoever actually got back in here actually had another shot at this whole thing. A lot of people were talking about, I want to buy it once here. Somewhere close to the 50. Is it a good buy, or is it? Right now, it went all the way back down to the $14, and now it's at the 29. So it's just telling you how quick things move. But you're right. Even if we're taking this off, I think maybe it's not relevant for the moment. But we can see how the main thing we need to be taking a look at is the fact, for the longest time we have a 4 or 5 months old support level where we can see buyers come in. 1, at this time 2, 3, 4. And this was the resistance again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have some sort of a pattern we can take a look at. Right now, for Chainlink, it looks like it is trying to hold above that $27 region. We will find some a lot of resistance actually trying to get back into this pattern, but the fact that it's been really important and how we're actually bouncing above it is solidifying the fact that this is a level where we will find that resistance, and we are finding it right now. We got a cluster of EMAs, we also got the level itself, but on the daily Chainlink, MACD's been ticking up, that buy power has been going up. The selling power kind of went just a bit. We still need a couple days to go to see that crossover, and the RSI was pretty oversold. So right now we keep bringing up a lot of these charts, but you'll see how it all looks the same. Even on the daily chart, Chainlink today went up from the what do we have here, 26.7 all the way to the $33 dollar, and 23% increase, and now we're back down a bit. So we're seeing retracement all across the charts. You'll see Habit everywhere, same thing, same exact candle. Chainlink, maybe Binance, same thing. Neo, I can pick anything right now. It's gonna look the exact same thing. It's gonna look exactly what's Bitcoin's having. So Bitcoin's having this. Let's see how the day ends, and we'll see as well if Chainlink is actually gonna hold this level. But Chainlink, definitely the $27 I want it to hold above that. If not, then we're gonna continue to go back down to those lower levels.
Yeah, no, man, I think you summed it up pretty well. I would just add that, hey, Chainlink is a fantastic long-term hold. Chainlink is up there with, I think, in my personal book, in my personal opinion, top 5, top 10 most solid long-term holds. So Chainlink is something I wouldn't be I would hold for the next 5 or 10 years, even if we had a 90% correction. Of course, let's say assume the worst case scenario, we're in a bear market, it corrects 90% from all-time highs. That would that would suck a lot in the short term. But I wouldn't have a worry that Chainlink wouldn't be around 5-10 years from now. Chainlink's going to be here the next bull cycle and a lot more developed and have a lot more use case. So I'm very bullish on Chainlink long term. We dropped 72% from all-time highs. We're currently down 43% from all-time highs. I mean, again, man, like buying Chainlink, buying Ethereum is like buying the next Facebook or Apple back when they first came out at a 40-70% discount. So not financial advice, but Chainlink very bullish long term.
Oh yeah. Perfect. So look, man, we got the 100 likes.
All right, we got 200 likes. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Without further ado, should we share with the people some of the stuff we're buying the dip on?
I think we should.
All right, let's just do it. All right, so folks, we're buying the dip. Well, I'm buying the dip. We're buying the dip on a couple of things, but we wanted to bring you guys some of the most interesting things right off the bat. And maybe the first thing I want to mention here is PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap, the swap of the biggest swap from Binance Smart Chain. So, folks, BNB #2 market cap. Binance Smart Chain. It's getting a lot of users, a lot of volume, a lot of value locked in its ecosystem. Folks, I love Ethereum, but Ethereum has lots of problems. It's not scalable. Gas fees are insane. Users are being driven away from Uniswap and using Ethereum because of the insane gas fees. And so that's why we've seen PancakeSwap go from what is this, like $18 to $44 and go up over 300% this cycle, right? There's a reason why we're seeing that, because gas fees are an issue, and users are flocking to Binance Smart Chain because of the much cheaper fees. So while the price structure does look appealing, we corrected 78% from all-time highs. We're currently down 58% from all-time highs. And while price structure looks interesting, there's some very bullish catalysts for PancakeSwap. Recently, the biggest token burn ever for PancakeSwap happened. A 5.7 million cake was burned, equivalent to $97 million. They're getting a lot of users. So we can see here that the difference between April and May, the total unique users was 11 million. 14.5 million in May. Unique wallet users, 1.87 million, 2.9 million in May. So again, from April, the transaction volume was 3.9 billion, 50 billion in May. Average daily volume increasing from 1.3 billion to 2.2 billion from April to May. Again, so we're seeing a lot, and it's not just this tweet from PancakeSwap. If we go over to DeFi Llama as well, PancakeSwap has more value locked in its ecosystem than Uniswap. The market is telling us that these gas fees are insane. Users are flocking over to PancakeSwap and Binance Smart Chain. They're getting more users, more value, and more total value locked in our ecosystem seemingly every day, and it's definitely trending upwards over time. So because of that, I bought the dip on PancakeSwap. And while I can go on further to kind of explain some of the things that are going on, some of the potential here, some staking opportunities, I want to know what you have to hear, man. Is there anything interesting that pops out to you with price structure or with the project itself?
Yeah, man, I would think overall, obviously we saw, and even by the way, at one point, even Ethereum gas fees actually went low because of a lot of people actually migrated to PancakeSwap to actually do their swaps. So there was a lot happening. Binance, obviously, they capitalized on the fact, and it did work, and we saw that actually the people actually preferred that, because at the end of the day, money talks. And then if you have a lower gas fees on PancakeSwap, then I'm definitely going there for sure. So that's what it is. I think right now even the price action looks pretty good. Even if we're looking at the 4 hours as well, we retraced heavily from the what do we have here, the $44 all the way down to the $9.40. Right now we're hovering somewhere here trying to find. So there is some sort of retracement happening so far, and there is obviously a lot of resistance, but even if you're looking at the 1 hour, you'll see we're literally at the edge trying to move upwards. And I think with anything above this area, man, is going to shoot this price back upwards. But I think even besides that, man, besides even the price action, besides the chart itself, PancakeSwap has been doing big things. It's been helping the crypto space in general, and everybody saw the use case right away. So that alone has been actually driving everything, in my opinion.
Yeah, and look, it's not just our feelings and our intuitions either. No, guys, we're seeing users in volume move to PancakeSwap. We're seeing more value locked in PancakeSwap than Uniswap. Folks, this is a big deal. The market's telling us, hey, gas fees are a problem. We love Ethereum. Most of DeFi and smart contracts and decentralized applications are built on Ethereum, but the gas fees are an issue, which is why we're seeing things like PancakeSwap succeed. And so if the market recovers, I think PancakeSwap, again, this is an if, Bitcoin can hold together eventually over the long term. If the bull run continues, will reach its all-time highs and surpass it again. Because while I love Ethereum, those gas issues with Ethereum won't be fully solved this year or next year. It's probably going to take 1 or 2 years, before Ethereum becomes fully scalable, and the gas fees are improved. So, I mean, PancakeSwap has basically another full year to two potentially of a lot less competition. So again, I do still think PancakeSwap has plenty of upside. So not only did I want to share this pick with you guys because I think price could go up over the long term. Again, not a guarantee, but I think it could. But also there's a fantastic potential staking opportunity with PancakeSwap where you can earn crazy interest. So right here, if you stake your PancakeSwap on PancakeSwap, if you stake your cake on PancakeSwap, you can earn 132% compounding interest. Folks, that's insane. So basically what I'm trying to say here, if the bull run continues and we can reach all-time highs and pass it this cycle, this year, potentially, if it continues, and you can make 132% APY compounding, I mean, guys, this is potentially a massive opportunity. So I just wanted to share with you guys the potential with this project. Nothing is a guarantee. There's no guarantee that we recover. Maybe Pancake never recovers again. Anything's a possibility, but I do see a lot of potential here, a lot of really interesting staking opportunities. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, just because I like you guys so much.
There we go, man.
Yeah.
There we go. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. What else you got there? I know you got a couple other things, man.
I
got
do.
a couple things under your sleeve right now.
I do have a lot of other things on my sleeve right now. So how about this? Because we do see a lot of questions here, a lot of interesting projects per PolkaSwap. I'd love to talk about all those. So why don't we do this? If we reach 150 likes, we'll talk about the next project I'm buying the dip on. Folks, there's 207 people watching, 111 likes. If 39 people like this, we can easily get to 150 likes. Smash that like button. Again, guys, we keep saying it because the more likes we get, the more YouTube will share the channel and share the live stream. So if you like what we do and you want to support us, it's the easiest way to do so. Smash that like button. In the meanwhile, why don't we maybe answer a question in the comments?
Let's do it.
Okay. What do you think looks interesting here? I see a few things. PolkaSwap, Perp. What pops out to you?
People asking about Dogecoin, Link. We talked about Link as well. Dot or Link, please, or I'm gonna knock myself out again.
We talked about Link.
Yeah, we did talk about Link. So let's just see buy city. Let's just maybe talk about if you have your chart there, we can talk about PolkaSwap maybe.
PolkaSwap, yeah. PolkaSwap. Actually, I literally bought PolkaSwap in the beginning of this live stream while we were getting started. I bought the dip on PolkaSwap. So boom. I think it's a bit hard to look up the chart, but let's look up. I don't know if you could find it on your end, but we can first pull it up here on CoinGecko. So for those who don't know, PolkaSwap is a swap, is kind of like the Uniswap of the Polkadot ecosystem. So I think Polkadot is, again, here to stay. And if PolkaSwap is indeed the next Uniswap of the Polkadot ecosystem, I hope you guys are tracking, then this thing potentially has amazing long-term potential. A lot of potentials there. What do you think?
No, 100%. I'm not really fully that much into it, but it does look like, just the Polkadot ecosystem in general has been, I think where they launched their like pair chains. I saw a couple articles today talking about them going live soon or.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm not really fully that familiar with it overall, but it definitely looks pretty interesting, man. It's pretty discounted at the moment, showing exactly where it can go. Yeah. But that's me personally. Sorry, I'm not really that familiar. I'm not.
No. No. I feel you, man. So I managed to find the chart here.
Perfect.
And so again, this thing is like down a lot from all-time highs. We corrected 87%. Currently down 65% from all-time highs. So look, I've been accumulating this thing. I think around 60 cents. Again, I just bought the dip on this thing like right before the live stream at 35 cents. So I actually like PolkaSwap a lot. Again, if this thing could indeed be the next Uniswap of the Polkadot ecosystem, then I definitely want to own this thing. And look, I may not make any money in the short term. We could even fall further. It's totally possible. This is a long-term hold for me. So again, next, the Uniswap of the Polkadot ecosystem, again, it might not end up being that, but I think there's a fighting chance. And so I'm definitely starting to accumulate for the long term.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So again, guys, we're so close. We're 28 likes away from 150 likes. So if 28 people like this live stream, there's 200 people watching right now, so we can easily do it. If you guys smash that like button, we'll go on and tell you guys the next thing we're buying the dip on. In the meanwhile, here, maybe do you want to take a look at Crow? I know you were buying the dip on Crow. I did as well.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about Crow quickly here. So we have Crow USDT. I've been really excited about Crow and how it's playing out overall, what they're fully standing for, and for some reason, of course, yeah, because it's on Binance. So let me just switch here, Crow USDT as well. If we go to VeChain right here, perfect. So yeah, no, this is what we got so far with crypto.com. If we're looking at the daily, it's really down low. Overall, you see, I just love these, just the way they're doing things and the way they're approaching the crypto space. I like it. I think at one point they're heavily going to be competing with those big exchanges so far. Visa's, ending up, they're settling payments using crypto.com. Also, check out crypto.com's website. You'll see their business space section, all the invoices with cryptocurrencies, and yeah, definitely a good project to look at. Overall, we know the all-time highs were at the 27 and a half cents, 28 cents. Right now, we're sitting at the 12 cents. So there's a lot to go. And I know at one point they did a token burn, and I know you know more about that than me. But so far, man, I just love it. It's literally one of my the biggest projects. I've been actually the biggest exchange coin that I've been really buying the dip on, and I added even more. Some are close to the 9 cent, some were close to the 12 cent when it actually dropped heavy. And
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so like something that I've been really looking at. I think at one point it will 100% get a lot of light, because right now it's only available on Bittrex and let's see here, what do we got here? OKEX, yeah, Hobie, or whatever they call it, and Qcoin. So not a lot on the mainstream, I guess, but at one point I highly suggest you guys check out crypto.com, and I think you'll really like what they got going so far. And yeah, it's still very extremely undervalued in my opinion, man.
I think so. And if we can go back to my screen here, we could see that on February the 22nd, they burned 70 billion Crow tokens. And so also Crow is on crypto.com. So you can buy Crow crypto.com as well. Now, if we look at the supply here, circulating supply is currently, it was the max supply, 30 billion, circulating supply, 25 billion. So they recently burned the majority of their supply. So this is a very, very big deal. These guys are constantly innovating. And yeah, man, you got in at a great buying. You said like 9 cents to 12 cents.
Oh yeah, I had it from way back. I started getting into it like way back at the 14 cent, and even I added more at the 17 cent. But overall, with this dip, I really added more to that. So my average price is definitely somewhere close. I would say maybe closer to the 11 or maybe 10 cents. So I'm happy with where I'm at right now. And I think there's a bunch of support beneath us. But overall, I'm not worried about bull or bear cycle for now. I think this thing is going to really be playing a major part in the crypto space. So I'm just excited for that. It's a 5-year hold for me, easily, 5-10.
Sure, yeah. And it's down 50% from all-time highs. So yeah, man. No, I like Crow a lot. I like Crow. So here's the thing. We couldn't quite get to 150 likes. We're only 20 likes away. So there's 200 people watching. We could easily get to 20 more people liking. What do you think here, man? Should we let the people know? Should we wrap it up early?
I would just say, you know what, maybe because they've been watching for a while, so I think they deserve it. Maybe we'll just give them that one last thing you had. We'll wrap it up. It's been an hour and like 40 minutes, and then maybe we'll see what happens at the end of the day. And for whoever's actually watching, guys, if you just came into the live stream, we have a pinned comment showing you where we talked about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Cardano, VeChain, and yeah, we'll see how that would help you, just so you don't have to watch the whole thing as well. We respect your time 100%. But yeah, we'll also section those videos, man. A lot of people are talking about how much content we put out. So yeah, I guess we like this so much, so we'll try to give as much value as possible. So
yeah, you're right. And you know what? Since I like you guys, you're totally right. We didn't quite hit 150, but you guys are troopers. I like you guys anyways. I'm going to share with you guys Luna. Because look, the reason why I like Luna is because Luna's like down the most still on the week. You know, if there's so many good projects, if you are trying to buy the dip, what do you buy the dip on? Well, one thing you can do is you go, you CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, you see what project you like that's still down the most. And then, hey, that's probably the project you want to look out for. Because again, guys, the trick here is to buy low and sell high. And Terra is a super solid project that's down the most out of the top 100 coins right now. So Luna, definitely worth looking at, in my opinion. Currently, we're finding our support at the 786. And thankfully, we're seemingly getting above this cluster of volume. We're very in a very precarious state here. We're kind of in between this volume, kind of in a limbo state. But as long as we hold above 660, 670, and once we can get an old $7, then we're going to start looking a lot more healthy. So while there is a bunch of resistance above us, as long as we can hold kind of 670, basically hold the line where we are right now, then that's the first sign of some building strength with Luna here.
Yeah, no, I agree. And even if you're looking at the daily here, you'll see that today's been pretty indecisive. Overall, if you go to lower time frames, you'll see it a bit better. But at one point, we're having this, I guess, ascending triangle that we're stuck in. And overall, we saw that, as soon as we dropped below this support level, we had a couple times where it's acting as a resistance back in March. As soon as we broke above it, came back, and then boom, we've been really, it's again, same thing here on this side on end of April. Last week of April, support until it actually broke below it, and we've been really going back to levels that we had back in January, February. So right now, this is where we're sitting. Major support somewhere close to this area over here, the $5 region. So we did find that support one time, a lot of accumulation that happened. All-time highs sitting at the $22. We're right now sitting at the $7. But that's what we're saying right now, guys. We are seeing that there are breakouts, but that breakout is definitely met with a lot of speculation. You're not seeing it just continue to blow up, because obviously Bitcoin is moving the way Bitcoin is moving right now. So right now we're looking at the 1 hour. We saw the breakout happen. You see it as soon as it break out, continue to move upwards. So now we want to see if this is going to hold or no. We know for a fact there's that resistance at the $8.40, and right now definitely the 55 EMA is where we're really struggling to have that support continue. So you can see as soon as we broke out of it, came back to retest, and now we're really hovering above, closer to those EMAs. So let's see if those EMAs hold. I want 100% see Matic holding above the $6.32. But yeah. Sorry, Matic, my bad, Luna actually holding above. But yeah, you'll see here higher lows as we move forward, but anything below this is 100% going to drive us back down to the, at least I would say somewhere closer to the, $5.30, back to this lower low. But we'll see how it plays out, man. Bitcoin is king at the moment, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true, guys. Like doing TA and these alts, we know what the relevant important levels are, but Bitcoin is fully driving the market right now. So I saw a question here, which is, would you buy right now? And so feel free to take a swing at that. But if I can maybe just begin to share some thoughts. My approach is, especially right now, dollar cost average. Like, let's say, for example, you like Luna, let's say you have $1,000 to invest. Don't put all your money in all at once. Put maybe $200 in right now, $200 if we dip further, $200 if we see bullish divergence, $200 if we see bullish confirmation. And so, with the market being very precarious, I would say, you definitely want to have some reserves. And while, there are plenty of opportunities, the market is very risky, very precarious. So if you do want to degen out and be like me, because look, me investing right now and buying the dip is high risk, high reward, but risk is a very real thing, and I couldn't end up being wrong. The market could very well correct more. I could very well lose unrealized gains. That's 100% possible. So just understand that things are very risky and precarious. But if you do want to buy the dip on things like such as this, I mean, hell, again, I am buying the dip. A dollar cost averaging is definitely your best friend.
There we go. No, I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah.
So that's it for Luna, I guess. Got anything else?
Well, I would want to add maybe one more thing if you're cool with it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which is, look, guys, I shilled Luna to our VIP Discord group. I was letting them know that I was buying at $5.75, and I think like $5, like 630 as well, just based off the 618. So a Fibonacci retracement from this peak to this, from this bottom to this peak here. This gave us some fib levels that also coincide with historically price reactive levels. So again, we kind of called the dip on Luna here exactly perfectly. I got my buy orders filled at 575 and 530 as well. So, you know, anyone who's in our VIP Discord group looking for a good entry, hopefully got the exact perfect entry and the exact dip on Luna. So if you guys want to become a VIP Discord member, you get access through our Patreon. Go click on the description through our Patreon. We're going to be bringing some changes to our Patreon soon. People that got in early will benefit from being early. And I really think I'm going to be happy with some of the changes and the more value we're planning to add. So definitely check that out. And again, with that being said, it's totally possible we could fall down further. For me, Luna's a great long-term hold.
Boom, there we go. No, I agree, man. I agree. And yeah, guys, if you're still not subscribed to this channel, you reached all the way here. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel 100%. Check out Atani. So we're the channel sponsor. We got the link in the description below. Check out their platform. Pretty interesting. And yeah, 100% subscribe. Join our Discord. Anything else you got, man?
Well, here's the thing, man. You're right when you said, look, these guys have been here for an hour and 40 minutes. So however long you guys have been in the live stream, we appreciate all your support. So if you guys want, and if you're okay with this, I'll share with you guys one more thing I'm really excited about buying the dip on. So you guys let me know. Do you guys want us to wrap up, or do you guys want me to share one last thing that maybe I'm excited about, has some potential? What do you think here, man?
I mean, 100% you said it. So let's see. Yeah, no, let's go for it, man. Let's go. Let's just say everything we got. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Just because, again, I like you guys, so I want to give you guys some of the most interesting opportunities that I'm looking at, that I'm buying the dip on. So again, I bought Cake. I bought Terra Luna. And so one of the other things that I'm buying the dip on is Kusama. Guys, I am stupidly bullish on Kusama. Great project, great fundamentals, great catalyst, and we're holding up pretty well. So I think right now in the short term, the inflection point is $3.20, $3 kind of 16, 15 here. That's where volume is. That's where we've kind of been hovering around this range last couple of days. So if we start to hold above here, that's good for the short term. But ultimately, one of the biggest reasons why I'm bullish on Kusama is because of the parachains. Folks, the way Polkadot projects work is that if you want to be interoperable, scalable, and have the security of a Polkadot project, you need a parachain or a pair thread. Polkadot and Kusama work the same way. Kusama is a fork of Polkadot. They essentially do the same thing. Very soon, parachains auctions are going to start in dozens and dozens of projects. We're going to have to buy a bunch of Polkadot and a bunch of Kusama to lock them up for an extended period of time. Again, I always say the same thing, but really, guys, it's very simple. I'm not an economist. Most of us probably aren't economists. But when supply all of a sudden suddenly drops through the projects having to buy Kusama and Polkadot and lock them up, and demand all of a sudden spikes, can we guess what happens to price action? Can you guess, man?
Price goes up.
Right. It's not a guarantee, but I love Kusama. Do you have anything to add there?
No, I think price action looks pretty good overall. With the fundamentals, like you just said, a bunch of things are coming up. So and it's gonna be less and less circulation, less and less supply for it, and increased demand. And the way those slots work as well, Kusama is definitely gonna be that's gonna be the main net where a lot of those projects are gonna get tested and gonna have a lot of demand on it. It looks like even price action, you're seeing that being reflected. Got all the way to the $630 region. Right now is the 324, somewhere close to 50% away from those all-time highs. So it tells you a lot about what this thing is capable of. But overall, you can clearly see when as soon as we start breaking out of this resistance over here, we actually went above, came back to retest, and we continued pushing upwards. As soon as we drop, found that support at it again, we didn't really spend too much time inside that pattern again. Right now, this is where we're sitting. So we are seeing that indecisiveness. Obviously, the whole market is. But overall, if Bitcoin continues to go up and continues to show some sort of recovery, signs of recovery, I think this thing is easily, man. I don't even think the 624 is something that's still, overvalued for Kusama. I think big things are coming for Kusama. It's gonna be a major role in the Polkadot ecosystem, and yeah, man, I think it's something safe to say that this thing is a solid project, solid fundamentals, and the price action is being reflected on as well.
Yeah, again, I'll wrap up with this on Kusama. Circulating supply 8.9 million, and between parachain auctions and staking, there's going to be a giant problem with Kusama, and that problem is a lack of supply. There's going to be no like very small circulating supply between parachains and staking, folks. There's going to be like so little circulating supply with this thing. I really don't think people understand what's coming with Kusama and Polkadot. There's going to be a very strong supply shock, and again, when supply all of a sudden drops suddenly and demand all of a sudden peaks suddenly, we're not economists and nothing's guaranteed. Bitcoin is fully leading the market right now. If Bitcoin crashes, Kusama's going to crash. I'm very bullish on Kusama, and I've been buying the dip. I'll leave it with that.
There we go. Yeah, man, a bunch of interesting stuff. Let's see let's see what happens with Bitcoin. I think today, end of the day, obviously end of the week, Sunday, it will really tell us what, Bitcoin's weekly performance is. But so far, we're 100% seeing that retracement. We're seeing the bodies of those candles is very narrow. We're seeing wicks to the upside, wicks to the bottom. Market is indecisive. We want to see Bitcoin continue to move up 100%. To continue to see those crazy gains. VeChain is definitely, man, doing really big moves right now. VeChain is 15%. It's really topping the market right now. By the way, in terms of top market cap, we got what do we have here? As again, if you go down, A-list, Engine 34%, Elrond 18%, Zilliqa 16%, Matic 16%. So it's definitely somewhere up there. I'm kind of surprised VeChain is moving that way right now. But yeah, man. Bitcoin, guys, keep an eye on Bitcoin. Keep an eye out on what's going on with the mining, crackdowns in China, a bunch of DeFi space. A lot of good things happening so far. We're seeing a lot of migration happen. Bitcoin did get that first that shine, but now DeFi space is getting that second hand, I guess, mainstream attention, and big things are coming, man. So we're all interested. I'm pretty interested. Excited.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, look, there's a lot of excitement in this space, and hopefully we get just a bit more bullish confirmation with Bitcoin. That would be way we can all breathe more of a sigh of relief. Again, it's possible the bull run may be over. Ultimately, folks, we need more confirmation. Anytime any major shifts happen with Bitcoin, we're going to be talking about it on this channel. So again, guys, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, because if something happens suddenly, we're going to try our best to live stream as it's happening. So make sure you stay tuned. And just to really just kind of put a bow on the Kusama situation, I would also add that on Kraken, you can earn 12% compounding interest on Kusama. So if you are hodling Kusama for long term, there are plenty of staking options out there. Kraken's just one of them. So you can maybe potentially sign up with Kraken, and again, 12% compounding interest on Kusama. Something to consider.
Yes, sir. Agreed.
Yeah, it for me, man. That's it for me as well. Anything else? Yep.
No, we're good to go. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for all the likes, the comments, everything you shared. I saw someone saying RIP Joe Rogan. I don't know why. Got me.
There's a lot going on with Joe Rogan.
I don't even know what's going on. I was actually looking through my phone. I'm like, hell no. But I guess it was just another troll. So.
No, I don't. You know what it is? I think he's doing some anti-vaccine stuff.
I don't even know. Man.
Let's not touch that.
None of that. This is strictly crypto.
Yeah, 100%. That is not a rabbit hole we want to go down.
So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. If you want to go over those videos again, we're going to section this live stream and put out the videos separately. So if you want to go over some of this, 100% check that out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Join our Discord. Check out Atani in the description below. I'm good to go, man.
Yeah, no, I would just say, guys, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned to the next one. We got, again, while we did stream for 2 hours, I feel like I could stream for another 2 hours. There's plenty more to talk about, plenty more opportunities. So make sure you stay tuned for the next live stream. And again, anytime there's a major change in the state of Bitcoin in the market, we're going to be the first ones letting you guys know and sharing our thoughts. So thank you guys for being here, and stay tuned to the next one.
There we go. Have a good day, guys.